What's the Church of Scientology so afraid of?
This is SPTV.
Welcome back, everybody, for more SPTV, where every day is a great day not to be in a cult. We have all new panel members this evening. I'm so excited. Let me get my little banners ready. Well, I'm clicking wrong buttons all over the place over here. On the bottom left, we have Victoria Locke. Longtime viewers of my channel will remember, Victoria, we did an interview, it feels like years ago. Was it years ago?
It was literally years ago. I think 2018, 2019.
And I remember one, but we might have done two. But anyway, Victoria, so Victoria, along with Christy Gordon and Miriam Francis, have created the YouTube channel Children of Scientology. Now, as of right now, correct me if I'm wrong, Victoria, you guys have recorded a bunch of audio podcasts that people can listen to on, you know, the normal podcast platforms. And you guys have uploaded the audio files so far to Children of Scientology on YouTube.
I know that we have a couple of them. I'm not sure if they're all published there, but it's the podcast itself is called The Lighthouse Project. It's produced by Children of Scientology.
So if someone's looking for it on like Spotify or whatever, what would they search for?
The Lighthouse Project. It's on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, all the major platforms.
Okay, great. So, and you guys are uploading so far some of those audio files to the Children of Scientology YouTube channel.
Yeah, they will eventually be up there. We're all learning together how to upload everything. So yes, they will be up there.
Okay, great.
Along with some other stuff. Yeah.
Do you guys think you'll start doing videos or live streams on there or anything like that?
I think so. I think that's the goal. I would like to.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. So, guys, I recommend you check out Children of Scientology on YouTube. And then on the bottom right, let me get my banner ready. We have Trinity. So I was going to say longtime viewers of this channel, but you and I spoke months ago, but you and I have never done any videos or anything, right?
No, I've never done any videos with anybody, actually.
That's right. But you have some incredible videos on your channel. In fact, that's how I found you. One of our mutual friends sent me the video that you did. I almost want to pull up your channel. What is it called? Is it just called My Scientology Story or something?
Yeah.
And it's almost an hour long. And I was like, damn, you have a story.
Yeah. Yeah. It was like an hour long, but I cut a couple of pieces out because I felt like I was rambling, but yeah.
Well, I thought the video that you did was absolutely incredible.
Thanks.
And are you going to be putting up a lot more content?
Yeah, I try to. I do this as like a hobby. So whenever I find something that like really piques my interest and I want to talk about, I just kind of go ahead and do it. But it's not something that I'm like super, super dedicated to right now, but I want to be. Cool. So I have a lot of ideas. I just got to find the time to do it.
Well, I hope, and you've never done a live stream before, right?
No.
Well, I hope your experience this evening motivates you. We spoke privately off stream earlier today, and I just think live streams are so the way to go.
Yeah.
Cuts out all the editing time. People like the natural live sort of flavor. Yeah. And it's so much
fun
easier
for interaction.
I like watching live videos more than like regular edited videos because it's just funnier to me. I like funny.
It's true, and you can have the interaction with the audience, which you just can't on a produced video. So, guys, I definitely recommend checking out Shut Up Trinity at Shut Up Trinity. Okay, and at the top right, we have the one and only Zero Dark Tony, who's probably competing with Kellycopter for the highest production value on SPTV.
Oh, I appreciate it.
I'm definitely going to get myself a light similar to the one that you have. I want a nice big, nice big SPTV LED right.
Oh, that would look great. You need
here.
One right there. There you go.
I just got to be able to get one that has the multiple colors. It can't all be the same color. It's got to be like, let me pull up my little
like the logo. That'd be so rad.
Like that one. Right, it's got to be exactly that yellow. Maybe just the yellow and the red would be
colors and everything, whatever you want.
Is that right?
That's true.
Yeah. Trinity, you might want to keep your mic muted when you're not talking because it has that little buzz in it.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Well, how about this? Since I guess I should hide that. Hold on, let me get my stuff in order here. Bada bing. Victoria, since let's not assume everyone saw the interview that we did 5 years ago.
Right. You guys didn't catch that? You don't remember that?
Let's give the audience a brief introduction for your history of your Scientology history.
Sure. Very briefly, I was in Scientology from about year 2005, and I slowly got out around 2015, so about 10 years. I've been on staff. I was on staff at Mission of the Foothills in Montrose, California. I was on staff at LA Org in California as well. I've been a field PCs for that entire stint of time. Signed a Sea Org contract, never arrived, but I was pretty heavily in. That's a very brief synopsis.
How did you get introduced to Scientology?
My older brother brought me in when I was about 10 or 12. Brought me in to see his auditor.
Okay.
Became my auditor. Yeah.
All right. And are you still California based?
No, I moved. I got out of there. So we're in Tennessee now. Tennessee, where it's nice and humid.
Yeah. God, it's absolutely horrible in Florida right now.
Oh, I believe it. Yeah.
It's bad enough that for the first time this summer, we've seriously considered moving.
Oh, really?
It's miserable.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
It's getting bad here too. It's technically not even summer yet. It's pretty bad.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So Trinity, let's give everyone a brief synopsis of your Scientology history.
Okay, I was born and raised in Scientology, and I got out when I was 22, right before I turned 23, and I was on staff for about a year and a half at the Tampa org, which is just briefly what I did. I have some family that are still in it, but for the most part, like my immediate family are no longer in it. They left around the same time I left.
And actually, I forgot to ask Victoria, you're officially declared a suppressive person?
Oh, I have no idea.
But I mean, do you have Scientology family who's disconnected from you?
Oh, yes.
And
I don't know if I'm declared, but yeah.
Well, why did they disconnect from you?
Well, I started going public.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, I spoke to you. We did that interview, and then shortly thereafter, I did the Aftermath show, and shit really hit the fan after that.
Okay, so they're treating you like you're declared, whether it's officially in writing or
yes,
not. You've never seen it in writing.
I've never seen a goldenrod or anything, no. But
has anyone ever told you that they were told you were declared?
No.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so Trinity, were you declared before you did that video? I want to say the video you did, you and I got in touch a couple months ago, but the video you did was not just a couple months ago, right?
No, so I did one last year in April. I did like a Ask Me Anything on Reddit, and then I like filmed myself answering the questions and uploaded it. Before then, I wasn't declared. My aunt and uncle that are still in Scientology have told my mom that I am declared, but I've never seen anything in writing either. And my family that are still in Scientology, my friends, they like completely disconnected from me. But it's weird. Like I don't know if I'm like 100% declared though, because my family that are still in it are still very much connected to my siblings and my mom, and they come to Jacksonville for family functions that me and my husband and my kids are also at. And my aunt, like my uncle won't even look at me, but my aunt still like talks to me. So it's weird.
It's like a good roads, good weather thing.
Yeah, but I've never seen anything officially about me being declared, because I've done like a ComEv and everything too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I did that, and I think it was August 2021, I think.
Are they still issuing goldenrods?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had one.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. I've never seen the goldenrod either. I haven't seen like half of my KRs and stuff that were written on me either, because I like left and then I didn't go. I blew from staff, and then I did not go back until I had to do the ComEv. And the only reason I did the ComEv is because I wanted to see my grandpa so he could meet my daughter.
Oh,
and my aunt and uncle told me they would bring me there to see my grandpa if I handled my cycle at the org, and it was the ComEv. So I haven't seen anything. They had like a big folder, like thick folder full of like screenshots from my social media Like, and I didn't even start saying
Same.
Scientology. Yeah. Like until like when I uploaded my video in April 2022, I wasn't even really saying Scientology in any of the posts or anything I was making. I was just kind of insinuating, and I was just talking about kind of like F church kind of thing. But people were still on my Facebook, and they were like screenshotting what I was saying and like my Snapchat and my text messages and like sending it to the ethics officer. And they were like, during the ComEv, we're pulling out like Facebook posts where I didn't even say anything about Scientology at all, like intentionally, because I didn't want to get declared at that time. It was weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anything to discredit you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, guys, even I have never been informed by Scientology that I'm declared.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that, Aaron.
I didn't even get one of those letters with the policy attached and the highlighted offenses.
To frame it.
Yeah, nothing.
Wow.
Now, friends were called into the base and shown a declare, but Scientology never did me the courtesy of letting me know. But you know, we'll just assume it's a done deal.
Yeah.
Okay, Tony, let's tell everyone briefly what's your Scientology story. Uh-oh, we lost Victoria.
Victoria down.
I'm here.
All right, there we go. Okay. Hey, everybody, I'm Tony D. My Scientology experience began in around 1993 on the set of a film I was working on, walking off the set with, and I could just drop the names, right? Aaron, it doesn't matter. Okay. Walking off the set with Jenna Elfman and her husband. And, you know, when I was young, and by the way, I'm not from a Scientology family. I was never on staff. I was never in the Sea Org. I was on the other side. I'm the pockets that got peeled. But also, you know, life and time and things like that, and promises and all that stuff. But that being said, going into Scientology and really just trying to quit drugs, there was this incident outside of that studio lot. A bike comes across the hood of a car. Then Jenna and her husband just sort of rushed to the injured person and just started to help them. And, you know, I was watching them do this, and they were making, you know, having them contact where the person hit with, you know, where their injury was and stuff like that. And I was saying, wow, what is this that they're doing? And they're like, oh, this is Scientology. And they, you know, that was sort of my in, you know, you know, Aaron asked me earlier, and it's a great question, but I really don't remember if they actually walked it. Like, this is in the early 90s. So I walked into the Celebrity Center, and I don't know if it was with them or if they called someone ahead of time, but I met a guy by the name of Tommy Davis. And Tommy Davis sort of brought me around, and I started some courses there. I was on and off at Scientology for a few years. I mean, at least a few years, you know, going what they told us was offlines, but I'm definitely an SP, because I also have a friend who sued Scientology as well, right? So he actually got a settlement. So I guess this is a group of SPs, I guess, is a murder of SPs. I think that's the
appropriate.
But, you know, continuing on, and then it came time for me to go because, you know, Tommy Davis, a weird situation happened in the president's office.
Do you want to tell that story?
I think I should. Is
this the one with John?
Yes.
Yeah, just tell the story.
Okay. So there was one time, and look, there are two purification areas. There's one where they make you think that you're a celebrity, and then there's one where actually people who you recognize go to. I happen to be in both of them. I knew Kirsty through James Wilder for a while, rest in peace. And, you know, one day Tommy comes up to me and he goes, you know, somebody wants to meet you in the president's office. And I went with him, and lo and behold, there is John Travolta.
Was he fully clothed?
He had on a robe. No, I'm just kidding. He had on a robe, and there was a table there. They handed me a bottle of oil. I'm joking. But I feel like that was, honestly, it felt very creepy and very strange. And that's when I had to leave. And when I tried to leave, you know, they'll send people to your house. They'll have people follow you to the store. This was in the 90s. So there really wasn't like the cell phone stuff thank God, that they didn't have the cell phones and everything back then, because they would just be everywhere following you, recording, because I've seen a lot of the footage. But you know, it was a horrific situation. And one day I tried to call up my agent, my manager, nobody calling me back. You know?
Was it a Scientologist manager? Was it Gay Ribisi?
No, it was not. It was not. It was through it was through CAA.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was quite a situation. And on my channel, I cover some of that stuff, and we make some of those connections between, you know, Scientology and CAA and stuff like that. But that being said, it was, you know, a bit of a nightmare when they would start coming and just knocking on their door at all times of the day. Like, what are you doing? You know, why calling my place all the time? So that's kind of a little brief rundown. I was in the purification with Danny Masterson. I was actually in the purification rundown with him. And Ethan Suppley, I mean, just a lot of people, Isaac Hayes, that just sort of came through that purification process that you would team up with. You know, you would have like a partner or whatever. And you know, a lot of stuff happening over there at Scientology.
Tony,
Go ahead,
sorry,
go ahead.
you did the purification. Did you do anything after that as well?
I did.
You did the TRs and objectives.
Yeah, that's the first one,
Yeah.
right? Okay. I went up to something called Student Hat.
Yes.
So that's kind of where like I stopped.
Right.
You know, I didn't go any further up the Bridge of Freedom.
Yeah. Ah, damn.
I know.
So was Danny in the regular purification sauna or the actual celebrity purification
He was
sauna?
in the regular purification sauna. Yes, he was. This was before that 70s show.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you know, in the early 90s when, you know, a lot of the
And he
allegations
was just on the
began.
dictionary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Danny Masterson was on the cover of the Webster's Young Readers Dictionary, along with like 6 or 7 other kids or something like that. I almost wanted to find one of those dictionaries with that cover and carry it around in court, but
that would have been awesome.
that did not work out that way. So Tony, how did they explain to you? Well, I was going to say, if Danny was in the regular sauna, how did they explain why they were sending you to the special sauna? Was John in there?
John was over there, and Kirsty would go in there, and James, you know, like all the people that, you know, they were over in that area. So, you know, I that's probably where he spotted me or something like that and said, you know, hey, where's that? I was, you know, listen, this is a little bit wetter right now. It's a lot.
Did they have to explain why John was always in the sauna, even though he wasn't on the Purif?
It really was weird. But, you know, I figured like that's where he saw me. You know what I mean?
Oh, I'm having too much fun.
I wasn't really paying too much attention. And then, you know, Tommy Davis, a very scary person, you know.
He's got that stare.
Yeah. And he was always like super friendly and, hey, man, you know, this is going to get you where you got to go. And, you know, all that stuff.
Talk about being 1-1.
It was troublesome. Oh, and Catherine Bell was in the Purif with me. Yeah, Catherine Bell was in the purification.
She was already a big star back then, right?
Not quite. She was in the B side. She was on the B side, as well as Isaac Hayes.
Really? That's weird.
Yeah.
Who the hell was in that celebrity one? That's just really weird.
That was one that was, you know, back then, I don't know if it changed, but that was the super secret squirrel place. You know, you would go in through the Bronson gate, you would drive through the gate, and then you would hit a buzzer. As I remember it, I don't even know if I had to hit a buzzer. I think you just pulled up and they knew you were there, and they just asked you, you know, they asked your name or something. I don't know if there was a camera back then or not, what kind of surveillance they had, but they just let you into the bottom, and that was it. Crazy place.
There you go. All right. Well, that's everyone's brief history. Why don't we start tackling some questions? This is a Q&A, guys, so don't be shy. And if you guys can help me find some non-super chat questions that are good ones, we'll try to get a healthy mix going on here.
Oh, and Aaron, if you want to add to the, you know, variation of the questions. I also spent some time in the same area where Danny is being held in the high power unit in LA County Jail. My charges were dismissed. Nothing to do with any of the charges that Danny's under. So not a convicted felon. Thank you.
Well, how long when you say the facility that he's in, what do you mean exactly?
He is in the men's central jail in LA County. And he is classified what you call a K-10, which is a keep away. He is in his own cell.
Wow.
And yeah, he's isolated. The phone, if he gets phone calls, it's horrible. I mean, it's just the worst. Single cell, just a slot through the door, a little window. If he even goes down to the nurse, there are going to be 3 sergeants that are on him. He's going to be shackled from foot in the front. He's going to have the front shackles on him, and he's going to have sergeants escorting him with their hands on him. When they walk him down a hallway, if he has to go down to, let's say, the regular hospital in the county jail, this is a trip, is that if he's a K-10, he gets walked down the hallway, the deputies let you know that they're coming down the hall, and they go, wall, and they scream it out, and you got to put your face toward the wall. You can't even look at him when he goes by.
Really?
Yeah.
For his protection.
For everybody's protection, because those K-10 guys could signal to somebody. They have there's a lot in the county jail. There's a lot of hand sign language that goes on that you could So the K-10 is for both, but he's going to be called a fish. He's a fish. He's a new fish, and he's never going to see his reflection again. That's the thing that tripped me out the most. Is that there are no mirrors in there. That
didn't even occur to me.
Yeah.
Wow.
There are no mirrors. Actually, I brought a little quick demonstration to show you what Danny Masterson's mirror would look like. It's a bag of chips, right? Sorry about the crinkling. It's a bag of chips. Then you take your coffee cup that you get through commissary. This is the one that I actually brought back to remind me to never go back there. That I was just at the temporary stay, right? So then you're going to take this bag of chips, and you're going to work the bag of chips over the top. Then what you do is you take one side with any kind of rubber band or tape you can get. And this takes some time. I'm not going to be able to do it right now. But you have to flatten this and shine it down. So that's how he's going to be. If he's able to get his hand, sometimes they'll leave his slot open. So if he wants to look down the hall or at himself, that's his mirror. That's what he's going to get for the rest of his life.
So if they see a prisoner using one of those mirrors to look down the hall, is it considered, will they confiscate it?
It depends. It just
because it's not dangerous, right? So
technically, it's not contraband.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what they would think about whatever kind of fastener you used on it, but you could squeeze it hard enough. And if you really, you got to spend some time to buff that thing out to get all the. I washed that bag, but you got to get the. Yes, I did wash the bag. You got to get the chips out of there. You know what I mean? You got to really buff it up.
It did look really clean. I was expecting to see some crumbs in there, and it was crumb free.
I made sure before I brought on camera.
So for the K-10s, do they wear special colors?
Yes, they will wear. He will be wearing a yellow top with a blue pants, and those are his colors. He will never come in contact with another human being. So when they talk about you sort of picture in jail and things like that in this facility. Now, I don't know about prison, and you've had some really great guests on that talk about prison. They are spot on. But even in LA County Jail, he's looking at, gangs, extortion, and he does come in contact with people. He comes in contact with people from housekeeping. So when you're in there and those housekeeping guys come up, that's when you make the deals with them to get your contraband. And it's like that. But the deputies and the managers, they're sort of like civilian managers that come in that aren't police. When you go through there and let's say you're a housekeeping crew, that leader of that crew will literally turn their back while you do your business because they know that it's part of a culture that has to exist.
Wow.
And a shower, no, he's not. He's a K-10. I don't even think he gets visits in LA County Jail. So he's not going to get any visits, no commissary. I don't even think he gets phone. They really isolate him.
That's incredible. When he shows up for sentencing, on August 4th, would you expect him to be wearing those colors, or is there any other reason they would put him in something else?
No, he'll probably be put back in his suit. He'll probably be allowed to get dressed for court if he still has, attorneys that are worth anything.
Well, I'll tell you, during the proceedings, there were times when the Masterson proceeding would be put on hold and another proceeding would come in and be dealt with for a few hours with existing prisoners, and they always came in orange.
Were those public defender were those PD cases, public defender cases?
Some of those people seem to have real attorneys, but I mean, public defenders are real attorneys, but I mean, so I guess I wouldn't know. I wouldn't be able to tell the difference, right?
Right. So, a lot of those guys go there and they have a PD, and a lot of them are really just pushing their sentences out because they're being sentenced to another facility. Men's Central, and that orange is a keep away color too. It's just not a K10 color. They are also a keep away. And then when you go by, Danny is going to be around they're going to treat Danny. And I said this on one of my videos. I said, they're going to treat Danny like Hannibal Lecter. If they could roll him down the hall with the mask, they would. And they do have masks for spitters. And they put it on the outside of their cell. Spitter. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Spitter, gasser. There's something called a gasser, and that's when they throw, fluids at you. It's real in there. He is, and he has no street smarts. So when you're talking about Danny Masterson trying to deal with the gang members in there, good luck.
Very interesting stuff. I feel like people in the chat are asking for name tags. I know. Let me see if I go like this. What happens? Hey, look at that! Bada bing! I don't even know how that happened.
I have one
but I will do a reminder for everyone to subscribe to Trinity on YouTube. Her channel is called Shut Up Trinity, otherwise known as Shut Up Trinity 9433. To subscribe to Victoria's channel, it is Children of Scientology, and Tony's channel is Zero Dark Tony, one of the coolest names for a channel.
Thank you.
And honestly, your whole lighting getup, I'm so jealous. I've got to up my game. I really got to up my game.
Just
okay.
Color. And I'm colorblind, so there you go.
Are you really?
Yes, I am.
That's cool.
Scientology said they can cure that too. Didn't work.
Okay, let's see. Jerry Nodine, aka Sarasota Jerry. Hi, Aaron. I understand the first concert in Clearwater's new amphitheater soon. That ought to drive Lil Davy crazy. Guys, I don't know if you're familiar with downtown Clearwater, but over by the bluff, the westernmost edge where the downtown Clearwater meets the water, there's a big park called Coachman Park. Now, right next to Coachman Park is the Flag Advanced Org, where they deliver the OT levels. And right in that park now has been built a massive world-class outdoor concert venue. 4,400 seats covered, I think, with lawn seating. You can get almost 10,000 people in there, perhaps. There's going to be concerts in this freaking place every week. It's going to make the advanced org obsolete. You can't do auditing sessions while a concert is going on next door. So that's what that refers to.
That's awesome.
So that's exciting. Jan Schwartz with a super sticker. Thank you so much. Okay, let's see. Catone. I want to say Catone. Oh, it's Catone. Okay, Catone Warrior. Phenomenal job with the test run fundraiser. I keep looking onto the video to see what the new total is. Thrilled that it's now over $8,000. Any update on Reese? Thank you for your work. Love to Mike. Okay, Catone packed a lot into that one. I don't know if you guys know, but I did Mark Headley and I did a test run of how to do a live stream fundraiser for the Aftermath Foundation. It was a 2-hour video, just a 2-hour live stream. That's now raised over $8,000.
Wow.
That's awesome.
No fees. YouTube takes no fees whatsoever.
Oh,
it's incredible.
That's great.
So that's what that one's about.
That's very cool.
That's great.
And any update on Reese? Well, I'm not, it's not my place to give updates on her private business, but Reese and I will do a chat in the near future for sure. And then she can give her own updates. Okay. What do we have next? Napoleon in rags. Hey there from Chattanooga. Missed the fundraiser from Saturday. Hey. All right. Well, anybody can still go to the video and you can still donate. So that's awesome.
Perfect.
Lori Plays says, I didn't know you knew about Zero Dark Tony. I sent you a link to his video after the Danny Masterson conviction. In case you had not seen it, that was how I found him.
Awesome.
I've known of Zero Dark Tony for a while. I just never knew if he was a former Scientologist. That's the part I could never quite figure out. So I just sent him a message and asked him, and he sure was. All right, let's see. Okay. So, One with Cats, I love it. A One with Cats shell, goldenrod. It is Oh, I thought this was a question, but it's a statement. It is Scientology policy that all SP declare orders are printed on a piece of goldenrod colored paper. In Scientology, only ethics orders are printed on this paper, this color. You know what? The one thing I never understood, guys, why didn't they just call it gold? Why in the hell do they call it goldenrod? Does anybody know?
It's very specific. I think that sounds vaguely familiar, that there's a reasoning behind it on the red and whites, or on the green and whites, but I don't know.
Yeah, I never.
No. There was a reason, but I don't remember.
Was it due to some whole track civilization?
Yeah, probably. It all is.
We'll never know. If any of you experts in the live chat or the comment section know why in the hell L. Ron Hubbard decided.
I feel like Christy Gordon would know why. Yeah, for sure.
Yes. Why did the gold color paper have to be called goldenrod?
Because
and actually,
it was a very specific color.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a reason.
Well, and when we get to the next super chat, I'll show the next gold, because one of these super chat colors is goldenrod colored. The $10 super chat is goldenrod.
Perfect.
And that's and actually it's become a noun though. It'd be like, oh, have you seen his goldenrod?
Yeah.
It's used as a noun.
Yeah.
It's not just a paper color.
Like red and white.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh, this is an answer to this question. Is goldenrod a color? Peggy Dooley, goldenrod is a color. And the very next super chat is going to show you exactly what color goldenrod is. Ba-boom! Okay.
Yeah.
Corbett Williams, I've never had any. Yeah, this is goldenrod. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty damn close to it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Tony, you've never seen a goldenrod?
I mean, I'm colorblind, so
oh, that's right. Oh, poor Tony.
Okay, I'll tell you what this looks to me. This looks like it could be green. That's what it looks like to me.
Not at all.
Wait. Don't you need? I saw like a couple years ago, there was all these YouTube channels that would put on these sunglasses that was supposed to fix color blindness. Was that a scam? Was that all a hoax?
No, there's really colorblind glasses. But listen,
they're expensive.
It's not just the expense. It's what it would do to your brain. I mean, I don't know why anybody over 40 would want to try that on their own mind, after all those years, your mind is adjusted, it's ready. All I see is the guys put these on and they have a complete breakdown.
Have like identity crisis.
Just everything you just see, it's almost like
everything's
the life. I don't want to touch those glasses.
That's a good point.
Tony, I've always wanted to know, to someone who's colorblind, does every color and shade of color have its own color and shade to you? It's just different, or does a whole bunch of colors all look the same?
How would he know?
Have you ever gone and seen the one-armed bandits where it spins?
No, what's that?
Well, the one-armed bandit, like in Vegas with the blackjack things where you pull the arm and the thing spin on the different sizes of fruit and lemons and grapes.
The slot machines.
Right, the slot machines. Right.
Yeah.
I'm not much of a gambler. Anyway, it kind of switches up on you, if that makes sense.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I like what Victoria asked is, how would he know?
How would he know? My father-in-law is colorblind.
So how would you know, Tony? I mean,
because this sometimes looks different to me.
Oh.
Sometimes it looks more blue.
Wow.
Sometimes it looks more purple. I know it's one of them.
So how old were you? How did you find out you were colorblind?
I think it was some sort of test or something that I had when I was a kid. I was put in a lot of these special programs for testing for, gifted kids or whatever. So I was always getting pulled out of class to be,
so special, that special. Okay.
Yeah. Like very, advantageously special until they keep pulling you out of class. But, that's when I learned about it, and, I think my mom realized it as well. And it never really came up because I just like, I just like black, red, and white, really.
Well,
There you go.
So I keep it easy with the clothes. Got a lot of gray stuff. You adapt. But those glasses might be a good idea, but I'm not sure. I'm not so sure.
Amazing. Okay, so Corbett Williams is so appropriate that his goldenrod colored super chat is asking how to get declared. So Corbett says, I've never had any interaction with Scientology and I don't know any Scientologists. Is it possible to get myself declared a suppressive person? If so, how? It would be an honor, truly. What do you guys think?
I don't know. My immediate thought is no, because you're just one of those people that are,
True.
I mean,
an antagonist
technically,
against Scientology.
well, yeah, whenever I was on staff, it was from my understanding that like technically anybody who's like antagonistic and like targets Scientology and makes like a public fuss about it can be declared. They don't have to be like a Scientologist or like a journalist or anything. It's just really anybody that's like targeting Scientology and trying to like attack them and just being antagonistic. That's from my my understanding is.
If this was Family Feud, my answer would be call the police. Call the police on a Scientologist. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, what it means to be declared has kind of become a blurry line over the last 10 years. Like Jenna Miscavige, for example, is clearly declared in every sense of the word, and yet she has never been formally declared a suppressive person by Scientology. It's just stupid. I remember even when OSA called me, it was actually Daniel Presta at OSA Int, one of my old friends, called me to tell me I had to disconnect from Jenna on Facebook and all that shit. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Is she declared? And he's like, no, there's no issue, but the policy applies. I go, is she declared? He's like, no, but the policy on suppressive acts still applies. I'm like, well, the policy on suppressive acts says you're not declared until you're declared. I mean, and I'm using that as an example. So, I'm being long-winded. My answer to this question is no. If you're not a Scientologist, they're not going to officially declare you a suppressive person, but they will just say exactly what they said about Jenna.
SP. Yeah, but they're not going to actually declare you. Yeah.
Or PTS.
I would say the same thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well,
or they would just be
non-Scientologists.
SP. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Victoria, this is where it gets hard to explain this to Scientologists is you can be declared PTS type ABC.
Right.
And that's different than being declared a suppressive person.
Right.
But you'll never hear someone use the phrase he was declared if they just mean PTS.
Ah, okay.
Right.
If you say he's been declared, that means he's been declared a suppressive person. But
Yeah.
you can be declared anywhere PTS A to J.
Yeah.
And then there's PTS type 1, 2, and 3, which has nothing to do with A to J. Actually, you can be.
But the PTS can be fixed, right? That's what
there's handlings for that. Yeah.
That's right. Handlings.
Well, and you can even fix. Theoretically, you're supposed to be able to fix an SP as well.
I've never heard of any successes on that one. It's like once you're an SP, that's it. You're a lost cause. Like maybe next lifetime.
You've never known anyone who did their A to E and got back into good standing?
No.
I've actually known a bunch.
Oh, really? I've maybe I know of them. I've never known of them personally.
Yeah. Oh, and this brings us to our next question. I thought declared was black or white. Yeah, it used to be. It used to be. It's just not anymore. Yeah. And that's to Miscavige's advantage. Like he can now use this club any way that he wants. It doesn't even have to be official. Guys, I did a video last week replaying a recording that was published like many years ago where Sylvia Wagner DeWall recorded Daniel, the MA at Flag, telling her that she's been declared. And she's like, well, is there an issue? And he's like, oh, there will be once it's approved. I'm like, then why are you telling her she's declared if it's not approved?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any
sense.
sense.
Going back on their own policy.
Right. Anyway, so wackiness. Chow Yun Smut says, I think the term is a cluster of SPs.
Oh.
Nice.
I like a gaggle.
Oh, I like a gaggle.
A gaggle of geese, a gaggle of SPs. I think it's a murder of crows, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's a whole bunch of sheep? A herd? No, we don't want to be sheep. Sheep are, that's not good. A herd of SPs? All right. John Sostovsky says it's spelled Sostovsky, but it's pronounced sixth sheep's 6th.
Okay.
Any scooter update? No, my stolen scooter is still stolen. If I had this serial number, they would be able to retrieve it from any pawn shops. But, I think if you're a criminal these days, selling stuff at pawn shops is so old school. Facebook Marketplace is where it's at, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. This one is for Tony. Apostate Alex says, Tony, it says on one of your YouTube channels that you are an Emmy winner. That is awesome. Congrats. What did you win it for?
I was on 2 television shows that you could find also on my channel. I do a whole episode on what I was on, and you could just sort of see the links there. But 2 television shows. One was for being a host, and one was for acting on a show that won the Emmy for that season and that episode.
Cool.
And I'll give you a hint. It was directed by Leo Penn.
I don't know who Leo Penn is.
Sean Penn's father.
Oh. Oh my God. I'm starring a whole bunch of funny comments here. Hold on. Okay. All right. Next comment. Batgoat, last name pronounced goat. These guys. All right. Rural SD lawyer, past lives question. Were you expected to remember details about your past lives from session to session? What was your guys' experience with this?
I remember. Yes, I think so. If you're in the auditing session, whatever action it is, yeah, you're expected to recall details. At least that was my experience. And the one that I remember vividly was like 3 billion years ago, I was on a battalion on some, I don't remember what the planet was, but I was a commander, and it was very detailed down to the uniform, down to the number of buttons. It is wild, y'all.
Really?
Yeah.
So do you remember what kind of auditing session it was? Was this Dianetics? Was this grades?
Oh, what was the NED?
That's New Era Dianetics.
Yeah. What is the actual action called? Is it just NED?
NED, there's 16 different NED rundowns, but
okay.
But only Dianetics or New Era Dianetics specifically involves engrams.
Right.
So
well, it was around the time I was doing a sec check by some, do you know the term case cracker?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I was doing one of those. I don't know if it was NED or not, but
so almost any sec check, if you get into a correction list, could possibly wind up into running some Dianetics incidents, perhaps.
Yes.
Interesting.
And mine did often. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Trinity, you ever have to do any past life recalls in auditing? You're
I
muted. Okay.
Oh, am I unmuted? Okay.
Yeah.
I never, the most auditing I did was like the Dianetics auditing, like from the Dianetics seminar, and a couple life repairs and a sec check. And it didn't feel like they were trying to lead me into like past life shit. But honestly, like, I hated auditing so much that besides like one life repair I did with a really wonderful like lady, I would just like recall some dumb memory of me like stubbing my toe or falling on some skates when I was a kid, and then just make up shit just to like act like, oh my God, like I'm healed. I'm not like, the pain that I haven't felt in 25 years, I definitely don't feel now, like just to stop, because it was so hot. Like especially like at Tampa, because they have like these huge windows and like the auditing rooms, and then the Dianetic auditing room, like huge windows with these thin little white curtains, and the sun, like third floor, and the sun would just be on you, like on your back or like facing the window, and you would sweat. Like
the trick
so
is
much.
to rub your feet on the floor, and that would make your needle float. I learned
that.
that.
There's no like you don't use cans. Like I used to do that whenever I was doing life repairs or on sec checks, because you know how they have to do like not your roods, but they would go through a bunch of like questions on the sec check, like to see if you have like a floating needle. I would just like hold the cans and stare at a point directly like behind the auditor to make them think I was looking at them, like making eye contact, and like relax my whole body just to get the fucking thing to float, just to get out of there. Because they would say like my cans were the wrong size or my hands would dry, so they would load me up with lotion, put blankets on me, put heaters on my feet, and it's like the summer, dude. It was hot, and even when it's like not summer in Florida, it's so hot, and I would just pour sweat the entire time. They're like, why is it not reading? I'm like, because I'm sweating. My palms are sweating. Like, for the love of God. Sorry. Yeah.
all of that reminds me
sweat so
much. That reminds me so much of particularly having to get auditing as a kid.
Yeah.
And just knowing you couldn't get out of it. You weren't allowed to say no. You weren't allowed to leave the auditing session. You couldn't leave until you had a good result. And
did you have to like chase down a whole thing of vitamins and CalMag too? My auditor would mix up emergency CalMag and vitamins, and I'd have to shoot.
They would just I had to do a whole bunch I only did the Purif, but I didn't really take vitamins after the Purif because they had me taking so much vitamins and drinking so much CalMag that I used to vomit so much at home.
Yeah.
But then I wouldn't tell the Purif IC because, you know, like if you have effects like outside the Purif, you have to like do a whole write-up and it's like, what the hell ever. And I just hated doing it. So I would
None of them are medically trained, by the way.
And I would be vomiting at home like violently. Like my brothers would too. My husband, we just wouldn't say anything because we didn't want to have to deal with like doing the write-ups and like going into detail and like possibly being sick and all that.
I remember needing to faint and I thought I was going to puke on one of the Purifs. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go to the bathroom and faint there so that I don't have to do a write-up. And I didn't make it. I fainted in the middle of the sauna. And then of course it took like 30 days longer.
So I did the Purif and it was right after my family had like just started getting like back online to being super Scientologist. And it was like 10 o'clock at night and I came out of the Purif and I was sitting in the courtyard and I was like super dizzy and shaking like I was going to black out. And I was looking at my grandpa and I'm like, I don't feel normal. Like I was bugging out. And he looked at me right in my eyes and was like, maybe this is the normal that you've never experienced before. Maybe this is normal. And I was like, I just shut up because I'm like, okay, anything I say after this, I'm going to sound like an idiot in front of all the Scientologists. But and now I'm like, okay, I was like about to like have a heat stroke, like genuinely. And I used to I would have to leave the sauna. And again, I didn't want to tell them I was faint or about to pass out. And I would go into like the bathroom and I would be dizzy having to hold myself up on the locker.
Same.
And like, because I didn't want them to be like, oh my God, you're like running something out. And it's like, no, I'm hot. Like it's so hot. It was so, I hated the Purif.
Yeah, I remember one time when after I did the e-meter, and I remember I had to go back into the Purif from the e-meter for some reason. I don't know what the order was. I don't really remember. I don't know the tech from that side, but I went back to the Purif and I went in there and I told them about when I was in the sauna, people are talking, you know, and you know, we're discussing like. I talked about the email. I said, yeah, it was like a lie detector. I beat it. I was just joking. And man, did that. It was like everybody like told the lady at the thing and I had to go back. They pulled me out of this thing. I was like, I made a joke.
Yeah.
That it was like a lie detector and I beat it. So, you know, that was the whole thing. I don't know what that was really all about, but.
Sorry, I was just gonna say you like cannot joke. This is one of the things that always got me, even like as a Scientologist, like why you can't even poke a little bit of fun at it. Because like me, I like to laugh and I like to find humor in everything. And when we first again started getting super into Scientology, my brothers would run around when people would sneeze and would say, "Ron bless you." And people would like give them the nastiest stares and they would get like put in ethics and the ethics officer would be like, can you please stop? Because it's like violates, like we must have read, like my family members have read Jokers and Degraders so many times because also there was an instance where my husband was drinking like with my brothers and they like tattoo and stuff. So they had a tattoo machine and one of my brothers lost a bet and had to get a tattoo on his butt. And he picked his tattoo and the tattoo said, I'm in a cult with a crudely drawn Scientology cross on it. And it was like laughs. Like we were in Scientology, just thought it was funny. And like my cousin snitched on us and like they got in so much trouble. So like lower conditions. My brothers were like declared enemies. My husband was on staff. So it was like this whole thing. But I still think it's hilarious. He still has the tattoo as well. I think it's great.
I know probably why it took me 3 or 4 years just to get through that couple courses, just because of the jokes I told in hindsight.
Oh, seriously.
Oh, the funniest joke I ever got in trouble for being associated with, it wasn't my joke. When I was on the Key to Life course, there's one of the promotional materials for the Key to Life course had like, you know, the little pin, the little Key to Life pin on one side of a scale and a pile of 14 karat gold on the other side of the scale. And of course, the Key to Life was heavier. The Key to Life thing was heavier than the gold. And my twin, you call him a twin. The person you work with on a course is called your twin. My twin was my age. We were like 13, 14 years old, whatever. He's like, you want to know why it's 14 karat gold instead of 24 karat gold? Like, because if it was 24 karat gold, it would go the other way. And someone heard him tell him, we thought it was hilarious. We're kids. Someone heard him tell this joke, and we were sent to ethics. It's the first time I'd ever been sent to ethics. I was terrified. And of course, they show you the jokers and degraders reference that says you're either a suppressive person or you have unhandled evil purposes. And the ethics officer had us read this one and go, so which one of those are you? No, which one of those are you? It says you're one or the other. Which one of those are you?
Yeah.
And we're like, oh my God, put the fear of Ron into us.
Oh my Lord. Oh my Ron.
Okay, so this all came from this question. Were you expected to remember details about your past lives from session to session?
Yeah, Aaron, can I share something too? As funny as like all of these memories are to me too, there are really traumatic ones, but on a serious note, so one of my past life memories that I feel, well, let me get to that in a second. My dad died from a drug overdose when I was a small child. And I remember bringing that up in session, and I was upset about it. And my auditor was trying to get me to understand why I was upset with it. Not that just that my dad dying is upsetting enough, but we had to go into it. So we went into my past lives so I could take responsibility and see if maybe something I could have been at cause at. So in my past life, before this one, I remembered that I was a heroin addict in an alleyway and I overdosed. And my last memory were ambulances. And so for a long time after that, I would actually hallucinate ambulance sirens. And that was like a completely implanted memory from my auditing session. But we had drilled it over and over and over and over again. So yeah, dude, one of those.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's the basic Scientology principle that anything about which you are experiencing misemotion, so anger or fear or grief,
sadness,
is something that you haven't taken full responsibility for.
Right.
And so, you express all this inappropriate, undesirable emotion about what happened. And they're going to make you figure out, what about this death of overdose have you not taken enough responsibility
for? Was
it
my dad dying or not being here? No, it was because of something I did in a past life. That's why you're upset. Yeah.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, like you said, a lot of these things are funny and whatnot, but they have really insidious consequences very often.
Yeah.
Really terrible. Guys, I'll tell you what, we'll keep going on the comments here, but when we hit the 1 hour mark, so in 7 minutes, we're going to do a giveaway. I should have done it at the 30-minute mark, but now we're going to do it at the 1 hour mark. Cool. Okay. So that was the past lives question. We'll move on to the next one. Japan of Green Gables. Did missions used to be bigger and more important part of Scientology during L. Ron Hubbard's time, before David Miscavige purged the mission holders in the 1980s? Oh. Well, Japan of Green Gables, I think you answered the question yourself there. David Miscavige purged the mission holders in the 80s. And before that, missions were a bigger and more important part of Scientology.
Oh, were they? Yeah.
Oh my God. Missions used to be how almost everyone got into Scientology.
That's true. Yeah. Dianetics. Yeah, that's true. And then the ideal orgs
big
came
blue
along.
building that you call Big Blue, is that what you're calling the LA org?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's part of it. That's part of it. I know there's
a different little satellite one on Hollywood Boulevard, right there by McCadden.
Yeah, that's not the museum, is it? Which one is that?
It
the LRH museum.
Dianetics books and everything in the window. It looks sort of like a,
that
like
could be the LRH museum
area. Tony, the one you're talking about, they call the Test Center or the HI, the Hollywood Inn.
Oh, okay.
And the Life exhibit, the LRH museum, is on Ivar in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And Tony, on L. Ron Hubbard Way, like if you're looking at a map, the northernmost building on L. Ron Hubbard Way is LA Org.
The big blue one.
Okay. Well, they're all big and they're all blue.
That's true. That is true. The fanciest one, because I feel like it's the most updated. Isn't that on Sunset and LRH?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. That's LA Org. And then just south of LA Org, you have Asho. And then south of Asho, you have main building, the big V, the giant V.
Yeah.
And then on the other side of the street, you have AOLA and the CLO.
The police have to sign off on those permits to name the streets too, by the way. Someone had asked in the chat earlier if Leo was contacted by the LAPD as of yet. I haven't seen anything along those lines.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay, Japan of Green Gables also asks, Aaron, is there any chance of doing an interview with Jane Doe 3 and Cedric? I would say there's a very good chance of that. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah.
Destiny Salazar, Aaron, the chat is asking for name tag labels. You guys asked, we delivered. So there you go. Bo Beats, Tony, this question is for you. Is the solo 2D assist frowned upon in prison?
I believe that is left up to each inmate, up to their own discretion.
So the corrections officers aren't going around trying to bust people for just giving themselves a simple assist?
Nope.
What about your bunkmate?
That's a different color uniform, actually, to be honest. There is a whole section, and
Tony's got the jokes.
All I know is it is actually true though. They have the whole gay section is they dress in powder blue. So they have powder blue.
No,
yep.
Really?
They are also keepaways. So technically, but they're not ones where you have to keep away. So you'll be walking down the hall and you'll be seeing some of them, and they'll be like, "Hi," like all trying to talk to you.
You did not.
It's true. No, that's exactly what they will do.
Hey.
Yep. Hey. Because they're
God.
always trying to talk to the to the guys that
God.
aren't wearing the powder blue.
God. Oh my
God. Oh my God.
True story. It's quite a culture.
Maria de Jesus Gutierrez says custodies without a jury don't need suits. That was my sense as well. Like when we were, I mentioned the whole thing with when the trial was going on.
Yeah. That would make sense.
When that was put on hold and the other proceedings were occurring, they were all non-jury proceedings. Motions, hearings, sentencing, whatever.
Were there cameras in the courtroom?
There's no cameras anywhere on the 9th floor.
Okay.
That's the high. I don't know what the word. It's
high
the high
power
security.
courtroom.
It's the high security floor.
Yeah.
Very cool. Maria said the same thing, but with a super chat. Thank you, Maria. Did the LAPD ever contact Leah? If you're talking about her request to meet with the chief, I think the answer is still no. Thank you for the question. Courtney, this is for Trinity. Courtney Denzer. What was Trinity's earliest memory of being a child in Scientology?
Wow. Am I muted?
No, you're good. You're
Okay. Sorry. My earliest memory of, we went to the Memphis mission a lot, and that's like where some of my earliest memories happen, like playing around the mission. And honestly, like what I remember the most about it is just being at the org and playing around, not the org, the mission. And it was super, super haunted. And I would be like on the 3rd floor in the basement completely by myself because the mission was always empty. And I would hear footsteps down in like the sauna, or like on the 3rd floor, I would hear like in auditing rooms. And again, it was all empty. I was left around this like mission by myself playing. And it would be so haunted and so scary. And there'd be pictures of Ron like hung up everywhere. And I would tell myself that it was Ron, like to make myself feel better. I'd be like, Ron, stop. Like, yeah. And I used to like pretend that he was like my dad and stuff because I didn't have a dad at the time. So that's what I remember. Yeah. Oh, and also like when somebody getting hurt, everybody has to be quiet. And when a pregnant lady sneezes, you have to be quiet.
Yeah.
And, like silence and like doing touch assist and stuff like that. That's what
that's what that was.
That's my earliest memories.
That's what the term that was the thing with it was a touch assist.
Mm-hmm.
Touch assist,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you. Look at that. Thank you. Yeah.
So Tony, you're saying that's what Jenna was doing on that guy that got hit by a car?
Yeah. They were trying to. The car was stopped there and parked, and trying to see
they were
like,
probably
hey,
doing a contact assist.
Contact assist.
Yeah,
contact assist, because they put whatever, I think it was the guy's arm. They like put it up against the hood of the car where the impact was.
Right.
So Please tell me this guy wasn't in need of any first aid,
No.
and they're sitting there doing.
He was hit by a car.
No, actually, he went over the hood of a car on a bicycle.
Okay, he still needed a medical professional. Now
Surprisingly
here you go.
acrobatic,
Your
this young
arm
man.
might be broken. Let me lift it and put it back on this car 500 times until you feel better.
The funny thing is,
God.
you are supposed to seek first aid before doing any kind of a contact assist. And
Oh boy.
I mean, how fast was did you see the guy get hit?
Yeah, he was right in front. Everything happened right in front of me.
Okay. So was he injured?
He didn't seem to be in too bad a shape. He was kind of like, it
Shaking
seemed like
out.
he was just going along with it, in a way.
Well, yeah, he's probably in shock.
Yeah.
That's how you know how dedicated. Well, there's other stories. How dedicated of a Scientologist Jenna Elfman is. She sees someone get hit by a car. She's like, we must do contact assist.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, from this incident, she got Tony into Scientology. Did the guy who got hit by a car get into Scientology?
I hope not. But I think it's a hard pass for him. He's like, how about everybody just stop touching me?
Oh my goodness.
I remember meeting Jenna when I was young and spry. I was 10. She was so tall, and I was just, wow, this is Scientology. And John Travolta and Tom Cruise were there at the CC Gala. I'm like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
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 They get as much mileage as they can out of
Oh,
celebrities.
they do.
All right. Kimber Deuce Smythe says goldenrod is the actual color name of the paper. Yep. That is.
Yeah.
I think what she might be saying is L. Ron Hubbard didn't make it up. It was already called that. I think that's
Right.
what she might be saying here.
Yeah.
I saw another comment. Somebody said that a goldenrod is what it's called when you order like a ream of paper, like paper by the ream too.
Mm.
Oh,
I saw like a couple of comments like saying that like the goldenrod's like obviously predated Scientology, but I think that's what the term for like a ream was.
Yeah, I imagine it had something to do with how whatever paper they were able to order back then, well, like during mission times, it had to have been. That's where the policy came from.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I never read a
Makes
policy.
sense.
I think. Yeah.
Lonesome Squirrel, aka CO Bilf. Have you seen my goldenrod? I see what you did there. Here's my goldenrod. Okay. There is no orange color in Scientology.
Oh.
There's no orange color on the org board. There's no divisional color orange. But thank you for the super sticker, Dr. A.M. Prezio.
Dr. Prezio checking in from my side over there. It's awesome.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Summer Moon. I think Neo is the currency, right? So Summer Moon is the name. I just bought those glasses for my brother who turned 42. Did I F up?
No.
No,
This is
not at all.
the color blindness. Oh no,
Not
honestly,
so.
Not at all.
I want to see him cry. Oh, he hasn't even worn them yet.
That's cool. I've heard that they work and they're awesome. So cool.
I've
wanna
heard a
see
lot
what
of
they
good
do
things. Obviously, the emotional reaction you're seeing from the guys is, hopefully it's positive.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're crying because you've ruined their life.
Yeah.
Right.
Because what are they going to do? Wear those 24/7?
Right.
Maybe.
Exactly. That's
Tripping
what I'm
out,
saying.
yeah.
Like they're just sunglasses, right? They're not. Oh wait, no, they're just glasses. They're not necessarily sunglasses.
They're just got special filters in them depending on your type of color blindness. So there's ones that are, you're a little more sensitive to yellows or, reds than, greens. Different names. I forget them right now. But for example, if I go play a video game on the PlayStation 5, you have the option to choose your color blindness segment and go from there. But those glasses, I'm sure they're great for a lot of people. I just don't know if I could,
I want to see what they do for someone who's not.
You're back again.
I want to see what they would do for someone who's not colorblind. Maybe
probably nothing.
give you some kind of a high. Maybe just gives you a headache.
Yeah.
Okay.
X-ray vision glasses. Giveaway.
We are at 1 hour, 4 minutes. We are going to do a giveaway. So for this one, there's some way to do a giveaway from the merch store. I don't know how to do it, but I'll figure it out. So guys, here's what we do in the giveaway. In the live chat, I am going to select someone randomly currently commenting in the live chat. So blow that sucker up right now. And we'll do either a Mike Rinder bobblehead or an item from the merch store, whichever one you pick. I mean, I do have some copies of paperback, softback copies of Mark Headley's book. If you'd rather have a copy of Mark's book instead of a merch item or a bobblehead, you can pick. Okay, so in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and boom. Gina D.
Whoop, whoop.
Get some merch. Okay, so
Cool.
Gina, send me an email at growingupinscientology@gmail.com. Let me know if you want a bobblehead or an item from the merch store or one of Mark's books. Now, it's not a signed copy. Like when Mark does giveaway of his books, he's got signed copies. I just got normal ones. Okay, and we'll do another one at 1:30 and then another one at 2 hours, and then we'll call it a night.
And speaking of glasses, I do wear shades. A lot of people ask me why I wear shades on my. I was in an accident recently, so I got a little scar tissue on my eye, a little sensitive to light sometimes. So, that's the answer.
It's a cool look anyway. I like it.
Thank you very much. Very comfortable with these lights.
Okay, Jacopo Belbo. Goldenrod is a plant with flowers that color.
It is.
I had no idea. Did you know that?
It is. I did know that. Mm-hmm.
So you can say.
I think that's where the color comes from. Is from the goldenrod colors, I think, or the flowers.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
You learn something every day. Okay, so here we go. It's a flock of sheep. Someone wanted me to know. It's a flock of sheep, not a herd.
Oh, that's right.
Not a herd of sheep. Wow, I never would have gotten that right.
Flock. Yeah.
It's a flock. A pack of SPs. A majestic herd of SPs. A jury of SPs.
Oh, that's good.
That's cool.
That's
A rebellion of SPs.
That's even better.
That's a good one.
A squad of SPs.
Man, these are some good ones.
I love an alliteration.
A pride of SPs. A shite load of SPs. A flock of SPs. Cats are a clouder. All right. It's a flock of sheep. Anyway, there's another one I saw later. I'll pull it up. A thunder of SPs.
Beard.
Oh, that's cool.
Some beard on that gentleman.
All right, let's see. SPT Scott. Hey, Ron, I loved your interview on the Dropping In podcast. You looked so comfortable. He made it so comfortable. He was fantastic. Where did you live in South Jersey? Did you ever live in Philly, born and raised, and live in South Philly? So in Jersey, I lived in Haddonfield, Cherry Hill, and Sewell. Sewell is the last place I lived in, Washington Township. Always in South Jersey. I did live in Philly. I lived in North Philly, 5818 North 13th Street, near Broad and Olney bus station. Probably the only white person in the neighborhood, to be honest. We get robbed all the time. I'm just saying we had, and there was like 6 staff members living in this house. It was,
wow.
And anyway, everyone just knew they could rob us whenever they wanted because nobody was ever home because staff members work all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, it was interesting.
That is Philly's my hometown.
Oh,
Is
cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
It is.
What are you doing up there?
Chow Yun Smut says, I went with cluster of SP since that's what you call a bunch of BTs. It seemed fitting. Oh my God, I love it. An SP cluster.
Perfect. There you go.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay. John Sostovsky. It's spelled Sostovsky, but it's pronounced I got nothing. Never mind. Well, thanks anyway, John.
I love the Mr. Bill.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Oh no.
Trinity's Abel S. Trinity's story was so crazy. All I could say was shut up. Yeah.
Thanks, I think.
How did you come up with the name of your channel? Why did you name it Shut Up Trinity?
I don't even really remember. I just wanted, like, at the time, I think I thought it was like quirky and different. I think it would get people to like pay attention, and I wasn't wrong. It just took a few years, I guess.
So wait, you started that channel when you were still in Scientology?
Yeah, like I
Wow.
made the account in like 2017, but like literally I was homeless and I was on staff, and my husband was in Virginia working because he was like losing his mind in Tampa, so he went to Virginia to work with his brother. And I like was like taking care of my kid by myself, and I just like hated my life, and I was like so suicidal that I was like, let me just like find something to like focus all of my energy into, so I didn't have like such negative thoughts. And I just started making stupid videos. on YouTube. Yeah, and I love it.
Did
It's my
did anyone
emotional
in
support
science
channel.
did anyone
Sorry.
over there have a problem with you doing anything on YouTube?
No, because they were like just stupid, small, like short little videos. And a lot of people I worked with on staff were subscribed to my channel. And as soon I had like 200 and something subscribers when I put my Scientology Ask Me Anything up. And as soon as I uploaded that, I lost like 15 subscribers, like within minutes. And half of them were like my family still in Scientology.
Wow.
And it caused like this big commotion. And it was like, yeah. And then, yeah, I kept like losing subscribers, and now they're like way up.
So before here, I'm going to pull up your channel real quick.
Mhm.
Before we started tonight, you were at about, I think, 150-ish. Now you're at 957. Okay, so you only.
Sorry.
Oh.
That's a good electric sauce on there. Congratulations. You now get some of the new privileges for the, if you get your watch time, you're now, you get some of the privileges for some of the full members at 500.
Yeah, I'm actually 1,000 hours because I met the 4,000 hour threshold like years ago because one of my videos popped off like 3 or 4 years ago. But now, like currently, to be within the threshold for the 1,000 subscriber and the watch time, I need like 1,000 more hours of watch time once I hit the subscriber count. So I'm getting there.
The live
so
streams really help that. They really help build that watch
Thank
time.
you.
Yeah, so less than 50 more subscribers, and you'll qualify for monetization. So everyone,
That's very cool.
go and check out Trinity's channel at Shut Up
Thanks.
Trinity. And Victoria's channel is Children of Scientology, and Tony's channel is Zero Dark Tony.
Ew.
All right. Okay, so we have another one here, Pride of SPs. I like it. I think that's a repeat. And Chameleon, thank you for the super sticker. And here's a fun one. I think people are always shocked how many long-term Scientologists don't actually go anywhere on the bridge.
I was.
Where did y'all get
It's
to
expensive.
on the bridge? So Zero Dark Tony got as far up on the bridge as I did.
Really?
Yeah. Oh,
Wow.
really?
I thought that you like worked and then they gave you the
Yeah.
course
I think
because you're working. I kind of thought that.
Purification rundown. I never even did the objectives. I never did the drug rundown. I never did the happiness rundown. I never did any of my grades. I had some grade quad auditing. So I did like, grade 0 quads, but that's not officially a grade chart step.
Yeah.
There was a part in the student hat course where they had you sit and stare at a piece of paper on a wall upside down for, I'm pretty sure it was 2 days that I was in that chair.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it was, but that's the one thing that I remember from that course is that just sitting in that room, staring at that. And I'm like, all right, somehow something's going to happen here.
And that's not even a bridge step. You don't even get a credit for a bridge step.
Yeah.
By the way, Tony, we're talking about the auditing side of the bridge, not the training here. So like, obviously I did a bunch of training, but
okay. That's the yep.
Yeah. Trinity, what did you do?
I did the PRF, and that's it. I did the PRF because like I joined staff like right as soon like the day I rounded off from the PRF, they recruited me onto staff. And then when you're on staff, you get the bridge for free once you're like fully had it and posted, but you're supposed to like study 12 hours a day. But the problem is that
a week.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
On top of and then like I was on foundation, so I was there 7 days a week, and I had my daughter was like 1 and 2 during the time I was there. So I didn't really have time to like study. And I was like overworked. I was producing such a high volume of letters because I was the new public letter registrar that I was having to take the letters home to like address them and fold like all the promo and stuff to put in them. So I didn't do anything. The only other thing I did, we used to have to drill certain TRs. I don't know what TR it is, but it would like help us sell books and stuff like that. But I had to do this TR where I had this ashtray and I was sitting there and I had to like,
I was just going to say, you're screaming at the ashtray.
This super, like, he was so cool. This dude, Artem, like this big burly Russian dude was in my face screaming at me. He was like saying really funny stuff, super sexual stuff, like hurtful things about like my family and my husband and stuff. And I had to sit there And I don't know how long I was doing it, but there was like a certain amount of time I had to sit there straight face, not react, not flinch, and just perfectly do this ashtray thing while he was just like in my face, like breathing down my back, like screaming at me. I could feel his spit on my neck. Other than that, I think that that's all I did. I did a handful of life repair courses, and I did life repairs and my sec check, and that's all I did. Dianetics. I've never even like read any of the books except for The Way to Happiness, like actually truly read any of the books. Yeah.
Amazing. Victoria?
I think the last action I did was ARC straight wire, and I was up to grade 0, but I think I blew I either started it or right before I started grade 0.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, next one here. Lori Plays says, Trinity, Tampa. I was just thinking you looked familiar. I'm in Tampa. Coincidence? I don't know I can't remember if Lori is a former Scientologist or not, but I don't think so. So
I'll be right back.
If you were, did you ever
minutes.
go to? Oh, sorry. If you were in Scientology, did you ever go to Tampa org by any chance? Yeah. Other than that, I don't know where I would see you because I was either at home, at Walmart, or at the org. I didn't do anything the entire time I was there.
Someone just said you just hit 1.03K subs, by the way. Trinity.
Wow. Thank you. Yeah. Cool.
Nice.
Nice.
Thanks.
Target attainment.
Awesome.
Okay, Donna Dwyer. My favorite show after SPTV is Ancient Aliens. Have any of you been triggered by seeing your reflection on the side of a pyramid? No. I'm a big fan of the aliens, though. So, when I was little, I used to wish that I would be abducted by aliens. I used to seriously, what I wanted more than anything was to be abducted by aliens. I don't know what that says about me, or my childhood, but
I had that same wish. I think I had dreams.
I didn't want the anal probing. I just wanted to be abducted by the aliens.
Are you on Reddit at all, Aaron?
I have a Reddit account. I don't
I follow alien abductions. It's a subreddit. It's really interesting.
Oh, wow.
If you're into it.
Is it still happening?
Yeah. People post on it all
I'm
the time.
gonna follow it after this. That sounds
it's really wild. Yeah.
Okay. Lydia von Stretchclaw. Can you give a quick run through of the different types of PTS, ABC, etc.? The thing is, these different varieties of PTSness are so seldom used. I never knew all of them. But type A, I honestly don't even remember what type A is. Type B is criminal. Type C, these were almost never used.
Is it A, B, and C, or 1, 2, and 3?
There's 1, 2, and 3, but there's also PTS type 1 means present time PTS.
You're right.
Type 2 means past life PTS or stimulation of a past life incident. And type 3 means you're insane. Type A, the only one I remember, there's one of these is responsible for condition cases. Like Apostate Alex in his story, they labeled him whatever type PTS is. You guys made me worse. You guys are responsible for my bad condition. That's one of them.
Right.
Type B is criminal. I literally don't remember any of the other ones.
Yeah, it's a lot to remember.
Yeah, and anyway, you can just look them up on Google probably.
Yeah. They're on Xenu.net if you go and look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Backgoat says an interpolation of SPs. I like that one.
Oh.
Can I just say really quick? Mary Klein said I misheard because I thought Trinity said she did Scientology in Memphis. I did. We lived in Memphis when I was a little kid, and we went to the Memphis mission. And then when I was a teenager, my family moved to Florida and Jacksonville. And then my uncle's best friend, who was in Scientology, reached out and got him to bring the family to Tampa to get back into Scientology and back on lines. So both.
Someone sent me a question real quick. She had mentioned the word rude.
You can put it up.
It came through on another. It was someone who had actually texted me the question rather than send it through on the thing. But they had asked, "What are rudes?" And that was basically just getting your sleep right? The root, your
rudiments,
right? Your rudiments. So
Yeah.
it was just make sure you get a certain amount of sleep, that you eat, that before you came into the Purif, that you were ready to go and have your life put on a roulette wheel once again that day.
Yeah.
So for the some of the Scientology watchers watching, you're talking about being like studentable or sessionable.
Yeah.
But like in an auditing session, the rudiments are ARC break, present time problem, and miss withhold. So ARC break is, do you have an upset with anybody, basically? Present time problem is there anything you feel that you should be doing right now that's more important than doing this auditing session?
Yeah.
And missed withhold is basically, have you done anything bad that someone gave you the idea they might know you did it, but you're not sure if they know? That's what a missed withhold is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm familiar with that term, but not the first two. Just that.
Oh, an ARC break or a present time problem?
Yeah, I never really heard those as much as that last one.
Okay, so you didn't do any metered auditing?
I did.
Well, there's a difference between going on the meter and getting metered auditing.
Okay, I don't know.
Or if you saw like an examiner, for example, on the purification rundown, you may not have heard those statements.
Right. Yeah, or if you had a metered ethics interview with the ethics officer, you wouldn't have necessarily had your.
Is that when you're locked in the basement of Celebrity Center for 5 hours?
You're always locked in the basement.
Okay. In a small room, and you're just sitting across from someone
with a meter.
Yeah, that would be probably an
That's
examiner.
The ethics.
Yeah.
No, not for 5 hours.
Ethics. I missed the 5 hours.
That was after the joke.
I see.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Ethics, but that does not necessarily mean you were being audited. You were just on the meter. Yeah.
You were having a metered ethics interview. In fact, they were trying to put your rudiments out, not put them in.
I see.
There you go. Yeah. All right. Anyway, some people get it. All right. Maria de Jesus Gutierrez. Goldenrod is a paper color that predates Scientology. It's dye from marigolds. There you go. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you.
No, moving on. Silver Dragon, follow up to Donna Dwyer's comment. Maybe they can investigate Xenu on ancient aliens. Oh, that would be amazing.
Ooh, that would be cool.
I don't know why they haven't already. Kimberly Smythe. How many Scientologists does it take to screw in a light bulb? That's not funny.
I would say 2. Someone has to 8C them to do it, and then they're the one who will do it.
There you go. Okay, Kim White. Aaron, the other night you all spoke of Mark's special shirts. Could they be sold as DCL shirts, but ship them with words? Just a thought. Love seeing the new peeps on SPTV. I'm embarrassed that I have no idea what any part of this comment means. I don't remember talking about special shirts with Mark. What were we talking about that I'm forgetting? And what shirts would have been so special? And I don't know what a DCL is. Does anyone know what a DCL shirt is?
Is it a brand?
Oh, I know. Mark was trying to have a shirt that said dirty cracker liquor. Oh, that's what DCL stands for.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
that's right.
Could they be sold as DCL shirts, but ship them with words? Oh, in other words, don't put dirty cracker liquor in the title of the merch item. Call it a DCL shirt, but ship them with words. I can't believe we figured out what this comment meant. It's our theta powers collectively. It's amazing. Anyway, that's a good recommendation for Mark. So he can check that out. Stacy, did you all escape? Or just leave on your own? Would you guys agree? Technically, none of us had to escape.
Yeah.
Right? Tony had to escape the people who was knocking on his door.
I had to fly. I was really under the radar because I was still working at a wise company for years after I thought myself I was out. What am I trying to say? I identified as out. I don't know. You know what I'm saying.
Totally.
I just got fed up one night and left. Honestly, is how that happened.
I mean, yeah.
I just got in my car, packed my shit, and left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to rub down John Travolta.
Yeah, so, and some people go, how come some people have to escape and some people don't? Well, none of us were at the international base, the management base in Gilman Hot Springs, California. That's one place where almost everyone has to escape from. And many other people have to escape from other Sea Org bases, but all of us, by the time we left Scientology, were not staff members or Sea Org members. I think that's the best way to explain that. So guys, this next one's a really loaded question. I don't want to spend too much time on it because that's not the purpose of the Q&A. But it says, Cheyenne Schwarzot says, can you talk about some of the struggles or traumas of leaving Scientology? XOXO, love you, Trinity.
That is a loaded question.
So I noticed it says the traumas of leaving, not necessarily post. I mean, for me, the simple answer is just the disconnection and the fair game. The disconnection from your family and friends, to me, is the most obvious, simple, and basic answer for me.
Yeah.
Anything else that you guys feel like answers?
For me,
sorry.
Go
ahead. No,
I was just gonna say the biggest thing was like realizing that my entire like belief system my whole life had been a lie, and my whole family, who aren't like dumb people, have been bamboozled like for decades.
Yeah.
And having to come to terms with that, and then like, I mean, really just learning about it was like the struggle, and just seeing how like much we were played. One of the biggest things, obviously losing family.
I definitely had a sense of betrayal for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely that sense of, I felt like I was promised something and definitely bamboozled.
Yeah. Yep. Definitely.
Cool.
For me, all of those things, but specifically because both of my parents were deceased when I was a child, I had a trust fund. And that entire trust fund was funneled into auditing. And so I didn't see a dime when I turned 18. And so that could have really set me on a completely different path when I was an adult.
So that money, even though you were a minor, was diverted to pay for Scientology auditing.
And my auditor had control of it too. I saw not one dime.
That sounds like a lawsuit to me.
Yeah, dude, it's a lot. Yeah.
Have you ever consulted a lawyer about that?
No comment. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Raven Azure. When something great happens in my husband's life, his explanation is, praise Xenu. We love watching you AA run. Yeah, I think of doing a praise Xenu or Xenu and I love you or something, some funny shirt like that in the merch store. I know Mark already has a bunch of Xenu merch in his merch store. Okay. What's this one? Pat Shore. My daughter died in 2021 of an OD, and I blame myself every day for not seeing and or helping. The dealer's sentence is this Friday.
Wow.
So bummer of a week. Wow. Is that, are they arresting dealers when people OD if they can? I mean, if you can figure it out.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, we just are going through that all over again in my husband's family. Yeah, I'm really sorry to hear that.
Wow. Yeah, the Pat Shore, that's horrible.
I'm really sorry to hear that. Yeah.
That is a bummer of a week, but maybe not so much a bummer if he gets sentenced, if he gets a good sentence.
Seriously.
Right? Now I'm wondering, are you going to the sentencing? I'm probably flying back to LA for Danny Masterson's sentencing. I want to see him in that powder blue. You know what I'm saying? Sonia B, thank you for the super sticker. Bob Ottaviano. It's Ottaviano. I've spent a lot of time remembering how to pronounce Bob's last name. Bob Ottaviano. That looks like a pinball machine behind Zero Dark Tony. It really does.
I thought so too.
I'm going to throw in a quarter. I'm going to play a couple rounds in a minute when we're done.
No, but seriously, what is all the pieces of what's going on there? Because it does look like a pinball machine.
Okay. Well, I've got the up here, I've got my gladiator mask. I've got some, sort of gladiator, some Italian. I relate with the gladiators. I've got the Oni dragon right there. This right here, I don't know if you've ever heard of an Eames chair. The Eames, there's a famous Eames chair lounger. You could look it up online. So
how do you spell it?
EAMES. Maybe it's 2 M's, but this is known as an Eames elephant right here. So this is like an old retro version of an elephant and a couple steampunk things there. A little globe, just a little collection of thoughts and things and stories, and Yeah.
And are those
Great question.
acoustic? Are those acoustic tiles behind you?
They are. These are acoustic panels back here. And I just got a whole light panel and the 49-inch monitor. It's like the Millennium Falcon of podcasting.
Yeah.
Here.
It's pretty sweet. I can't believe you don't have more subscribers than you do, honestly.
Well, we're getting there. We're getting there. I took a long break, and I do some controversial material that some people don't necessarily like, and there's false reporting and mass flagging and stuff that happens, but it just goes with it.
I get it.
It just goes with it.
So quick,
You're no stranger to that.
Quick reminder to everyone, you can subscribe to Tony at Zero Dark Tony. You can subscribe to Trinity at Shut Up Trinity. And you can subscribe to Victoria at Children of Scientology. And it is time for our next giveaway.
Awesome.
So Tony and Trinity, you guys both have the back office access, right? So you can also you can select comments, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So Tony, this one's going to be yours. Everyone who is in the live chat right now, and we have almost 2,200 people in the live chat, just say anything at all in the live chat. Tony's going to randomly select someone from the live chat right now for a giveaway. You can get anything from the merch store or a Mike Rinder bobblehead or a paperback blown for good book. So go ahead, give him a countdown, Tony, and just select randomly.
In 3, 2, 1. And right here.
Did it work?
Did I get it? Hold on.
Tony,
It's all right. I pushed it.
Do you see it?
No, I don't. Hold on. Let me do it again. I found it. I found the one I was going to. There we go. There it is. There it is.
Oh, Susie. Okay, good. So Susie, email me at growingupinscientology@gmail.com. Actually, you know what? I feel so bad. It took me 3 weeks to mail out the bobbleheads for the last bobblehead giveaway that I did. No, it's even better. It would have taken me 3 weeks if I knew that today wasn't a federal holiday. I went to the post office. I finally was ready to mail these bobbleheads out. It's a holiday. It's Juneteenth.
I also went to the post office
holiday.
and I thought it was my post office. I'm like, oh, they're closed now, I guess. Okay.
Yeah. So I still haven't. So, and by the way,
Okay.
I'm gonna name them. No, hold on. I just want them to know who I'm talking about. Shipping. Okay. So if Patty, Annie, and Lillian, all your bobbleheads are packed up and ready to go. And Sally De Silva V has never sent me any shipping info. So if Sally De Silva V is out there and you want your bobblehead, you got to email me your shipping info. I didn't get high enough up on the bridge to be able to telepathically get that information from you. Okay, again, these loaded questions, but that's okay. Miranda Brinker, please tell us about your most significant transition after getting out and how you got through it. That's way too big of a question, so we're just gonna do a little bit of justice to this. Anyway, I'll go last. Go ahead, Victoria.
The most significant transition
After getting out, yeah.
Very briefly, going to therapy and being hospitalized and actually receiving help saved my life, but it was a big transition. It was very hard.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Trinity. If you have an answer.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest transition was like finding my voice and not being so codependent on my family, because Scientology kind of made us all very disgustingly codependent on each other. And just like having to separate myself from that. And then also like having to come to terms with therapy and medication and psychiatry isn't a bad thing. And like just supporting it and then supporting others who go to it and not being such like you don't need that kind of person anymore. Cause I was to like all of my friends who weren't even in Scientology. I would tell them, you don't need your medication. You don't need therapy, man. Like they do. And I'm like, I feel like crap about being that person, but yeah.
Cool. Anything, Tony?
I just think that generally feeling like, that I remember going to New York City when I was a kid for the first time, and I got taken by one of those shell games, one of those street shell games, and I got taken. And, it was like that kind of feeling, but it's also a whole community that you get involved in. These are people, these are friends, these are places you go, you know, you hang out with people, you even build relationships in these places. And then all of a sudden that's just sort of, you know, your persona non grata in a community that you thought you're part of. And then you realize, you know, being a part of it was awful in the first place, you know? So just sort of that mental transition of, hey, you know, this happened. These are the results and my own personal consequences. And I just really got to figure out how to move on from them, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Again, my answer is kind of similar to the last one. The most significant transition is just losing all the family members. And I don't think you really do get over it, honestly. I don't think you do. And honestly, that's one of the ways Scientology is destroying itself. It's not because the internet found out about Xenu. It's because Scientology treats its members so horribly, is relatively anti-child, anti-family, and destroys families. And it's destroying itself in the process, which is horrible for everyone who experiences it, but great that it's destroying itself. You know, it will eventually cease to be an issue because there won't be any fucking Scientologists left. Right. Okay, Denver Stevo says, if you spray goldenrod paper with Windex, the paper will change colors, much like tie-dye or hypercolor. We'll have to try that.
Is that serious?
I don't know if he's serious. Catone Warrior says, I don't understand. If anger is a misemotion, why is all the yelling and berating allowed? There is actually an answer to this question.
Yeah.
What would you guys say?
Well, that's part of bull baiting. It's part of bull baiting. Mm-hmm.
But take the bull baiting out of it, because that's like for a very specific purpose. I think.
I see what they're saying.
Screaming
all
and the
general,
Sea Org and everything.
I see.
Yeah.
Getting people to do what you want.
So the answer here would be like, the way it would be justified is that an executive yelling at a junior, that's causative. That's causatively taking a position on the tone scale for a specific purpose. Whereas being angry about something that has happened to you is an emotion you're exhibiting while being at effect. You're angry about something that happened to you, as opposed to putting out anger to get someone to
handle
do something.
Yeah.
Again, this is just how a Scientologist would justify it. The fact is, if you think about it too deeply, it doesn't make sense. You shouldn't have to do that. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Trinity.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say that, like, while I was on staff, I realized that a lot of policies can be easily contradicted by another policy. So whereas like anger and yelling is misemotion, I'm sure there's another policy somewhere that like justifies somebody getting on to like their staff. That's just a lot of it's very contradictory, and a lot of it does not make sense whenever you actually like put two and two together.
Yeah. Well, here's a perfect other way where it contradicts. A Scientologist justifying. Am I the only one that is hearing a weird noise when I talk? Trinity's muted, so it's not her.
I do.
Okay.
Now.
Yeah, but you already muted, so it's not your fault.
Yeah, no, it's like a scratching sound.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah. So a Scientologist would say anger and grief, because one of the definitions of misemotion isn't emotion below 2.0. It's emotion that's not appropriate for the situation. There's some place where L. Ron Hubbard defined it that way. There's another place where it's defined as anything below 2.0. And so people will use it selectively. So a Scientologist might go, well, expressing grief at a funeral isn't misemotion. That's appropriate emotion. However, we all know that if your family member dies and you're griefy, that is considered unacceptable and misemotion, and you will get auditing until you no longer feel griefy. Well, if it's appropriate emotion, then what's the point of trying to fix it with auditing? Yeah. Now, again, a Scientologist would go, well, it's appropriate emotion, but clearly you're stuck in a loss, so you need auditing to pull you out of the loss. Anyway, it's just bullshit. It's just a bunch of
mental gymnastics.
It's a bunch of mental. Yeah. We all know Scientologists don't like it when anyone exhibits grief, fear, apathy, anger,
sympathy.
Oh, that's the worst. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't like it whenever you have like emotions like a normal human being.
That's not.
They just want you to be like amazing. A robot that's like, oh my God, look what Scientology did. Like,
but not too cheery, because then you're glib.
Really?
Just the appropriate amount of robotic.
Man, when I first got to Tampa, like at the org, that almost everybody there was like so pretty and had like perfect teeth and would just walk around like this. hi, oh my God, that's great. Hi, oh my God, that's so theta. Like they would talk just like this, hey girl. And I'm like not like it was so weird because they would just like hi just all the time. And then like whenever anybody would like be angry, they would like in the corner like they couldn't really. It was just all like a facade, because once I joined staff like that, oh my God, hey, like facade turned into like what is your problem, like they treat public significantly better than they treat staff members. And that's kind of like, I thought that it would be the same, which is why I didn't really mind joining staff, but it was like, they're treated like crap.
What was the thing that they would say about having a cold? What was wrong with me if I had a cold?
Your PTS.
Your PTS, and you would have to go see if you're on staff. Well, I think if you're like on course too, you would have to go see the medical liaison officer, and you'd have to figure out what your PTS is or what your PTS to.
Yeah, I think you get routed to ethics.
Like somebody got sick, and then I was by them, and they're like spit got in my mouth, and I got sick, kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's because your PTS that your body absorbed the virus.
Yeah. There's
for
bad
Tony
vibes.
though. They had a special routing form for Tony. They were like, Tony's PTS, you have to go see John.
Yeah, John's gonna help that out. He's in a robe.
John said he wanted to see you. He's up in his hotel room.
He's got a boutonniere in his robe, and he's got a pina colada for you.
He'll get you sorted out. And they're like you have to go see the MLO, but today the MLO is John. All right, enough of that. Okay, Celeste Commodore, MP in question period. I have no idea what that means. I have a misunderstood word. Okay, I'll just read the whole thing. MP in question period said org board today, and it gave me anxiety. What in the hell does that mean?
I don't know what the first half of their comment, like what they're trying to say, but I think they're trying to say that like, so my best friend's husband is in the Navy, and obviously a lot of Scientology terms are like come from the Navy. And like even today before we did this live, I was on like the phone with her, and she was like, "Oh yeah, Austin had to muster." And like she said muster, I just got like tingly, like oh my God, or like
flashbacks.
He like the chit and all kinds of words. Like she'll just be talking about like his military career. My uncle's in the was in the Navy too. So my aunt will just be having casual conversation. I'll just like get tingly when she like he has to muster, and like looking at his uniform like for his retirement. I'm like, oh my God, it triggers me.
I was ironing a shirt for a wedding a couple weeks ago, and I got flashbacks. I can't even iron clothes.
We heard the term muster as well, like in the Purif, like if they were at muster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
See, I don't even know. I don't even know how much of the terminology we used is actually Navy terminology.
A lot.
So much. So much.
Wow.
Because like I said, my best friend's husband's in the Navy, and then my uncle just retired after like 26 years. And like hearing them talk about like just Navy terms, it's just like, and a lot of the abbreviations too. It's like, am I at like a church, or are you talking about the military right now? Like it's very real. It's like, it's scary. I don't like it. I hate it actually.
Nuts.
Wow. Quick reminder for anyone just recently joining the stream here. You can subscribe to Trinity on YouTube at Shut Up Trinity. And Victoria, you can subscribe to at Children of Scientology. And Tony, you can subscribe to at Zero Dark Tony. Okay, Destiny Salazar says, I love how the SPTV chat always gets fixated on some fun subtopic. It warms my heart. I think they're talking about what do you call a group of SPs? Is that probably the topic?
And the goldenrod conundrum.
The goldenrod.
I've learned so much about it already. I really have. I've been reading the comments like, oh my God, that's so neat. Wow.
Denver Steve-O, Zero Dark Tony, do you by chance have any relatives from Tampa? You look similar to a guy I know. They're named Brad. Hey, you do look like Tampa Brad, except a skinnier, fitter version.
There we go. Could be a long lost cousin I have down there. Is he Italian?
He's the better Brad.
Just realized it wasn't exactly a compliment.
That's all right.
Yeah, I'm sure Denver Steve meant it in the best possible way.
I'm sure he did. I take it.
But it's funny. I can see Tampa Brad trying. He had his hair pulled back. He had the man bun. He was rocking the man bun for a while.
It's a top knot. Okay, it's not a man bun. All right.
I don't even see a top knot. Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah, it's like a samurai.
Yeah. That's a top knot.
So I like this one. A render of SPs. That's actually really clever.
Oh.
That is really clever.
Tribute at the same time.
Linda P. Golan. Kudos to AA Run on Lex Friedman before Kreischer. Yeah, that was the one Lex Friedman interview I could not listen to. I can't listen to a whole lot of Bert Kreischer interviews. There's not a lot going on there. Just saying. I'm a fan of his comedy, just not a fan of his interviews. Yeah. Jenny Wong, a crash of SPs. I like that. Let's see. Rock it out with Kim D. Hey. Rise of the notorious, nefarious, never ends of SPs. Oh, I like that. The nefarious never ends, the notorious never ends of SPTV. I love that. Okay, how do you say this one? Melshma. Melshma-E. Love SPTV. You all are amazing. Well, thank you so very, very much. Okay, we got some more goldenrod action here. Before Xerox, goldenrod was standard 4 carbon copies.
Okay, you know what? You're onto something there. I bet you that's has to do with
I'll bet that is also a color in Hollywood script rewrites. I'll bet goldenrod is one of the rewrite colors somewhere down the line, I would guess.
Interesting. What are the other colors?
Oh, they've got to. You're going to ask me, the colorblind guy?
Oh, no.
Well, don't tell me what they look like. Just tell me what they call them.
There's just, I know there's white, blue, yellow, red, and it goes up the line of different rewrites, and there's a whole color chart of them. So
I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
It would say the word, blue, whatever. Yeah.
Wow. That's really interesting. Jacopo Belbo, a flock of seagulls. Sorry, I'm old. Yes.
I love flock of seagulls.
Yeah. The young kids these days, because I've got 3 of them. They're really into the old time music.
Everybody was in the 80s.
That's how it goes. Yeah.
Someone came on the radio. Something came on the radio. I said, oh, this band is called The Doors. And she's like, I know, Dad, this is my playlist.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh boy.
And she's 14 and she got The Doors on her playlist. I was like, cool. Sounds cool. Kids are cool these days. Weary Traveler, Ideal Orgs. What is on all the upper floors? They're so big. How do they use all that space? Or is it just empty? This is a really good question.
On that Hollywood Boulevard one too. It goes up. It's like 8 floors, but it's a narrow little building.
They live in that building.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It is empty auditing rooms because at least at Tampa on the 3rd floor, it's like where the academy is and the practical room are. But the rest of it, like there's little tiny auditing rooms that are just empty and collect dust, and half the org is empty. It really is. It was Tampa. The building is super pretty, but like so much of it's empty, and it's also very haunted, and it's creepy at night because it's so empty.
Celebrity Center too is really just scary at nighttime.
Celebrity Center Int?
Yeah, it's freaky.
It's just a generally eerie place.
Yeah.
It reminds me of for some reason it reminds me of the Mel Brooks movie High Anxiety.
Yeah.
You're in that crazy hospital with Nurse Ratched.
Yeah. Right? Yeah.
So all of the Ideal Org buildings, by the time they open, are fully renovated. So it's not unrenovated or empty space, but it is unused space.
Right.
They just don't have enough. So even at ASHO, which is one of the biggest orgs in the world.
ASHO's freaky to me too.
Yeah. Well, so even at ASHO, it's fully renovated. There were course rooms that were just completely empty because we didn't have enough supervisors or public to fill all the course rooms. So even at ASHO, down, Hollywood, supposed to be the biggest concentration of Scientologists in the world, RTC actually had to come through and order that we put supervisors in empty course rooms.
Yeah.
Because a standard course room will fill up on its own. Because we didn't have enough business to occupy all the course rooms.
Right.
And that was when Scientology was probably 3 times bigger than it is today,
That's nuts.
I know. Okay, Marilyn Honig wants Trinity to know. Never shut up, Trinity. I watched you months ago and never forgot your story. I was in a different cult, but could so relate. Great to see you here.
Thank you. Nice. Thank you so much.
Let's see. Chow Yun Smut. I love this name. Is there an org in Minneapolis? Yes. I'm going to be there at the end of the month and need to know because reasons. So I don't. The answer is there's a Twin Cities org. Whether it's actually in Minneapolis, I just don't know. But if you look up Church of Scientology Twin Cities or Church of Scientology Minnesota, it's huge. It used to be a museum. It's like 50,000 square feet.
Oh, wow.
It's one of these orgs that cannot pay their power bill in the winter or the summer.
2 people live there.
2 people. Oh, you're looking in the live chat? 2 people live in the building?
Yeah, it's the big empty building in Minnesota.
Yeah. I'm sure many of the staff live in the building. If I was on staff there, I would live in the building. Secretly or otherwise, I would just live in the building. So the answer, Chow Yun Smut, yes, you will find it. It is an ideal org. It is huge. It is massive, and it is empty. Denver Steve-O wants everybody to know tonight after Monday Night Live, do not miss the after show, followed by Sleeping with Steve-O. Sleeping with Steve-O on late night SPTV over at my place. Oh my God. Holy crap, Steve-O. Jeff with the super sticker. Thank you very much. Kaz Ferns, never in Scientology, but also thought I might be abducted by aliens. Grew up in Roswell, New Mexico, though.
Oh, been
Wow.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, guys, all the amazing recent developments in the world of alien watching. On the one hand, we have all the declassified videos and the government saying we don't know what this shit is. But we also have Elon Musk saying, I've seen nothing. And I'm kind of like, I think Elon would tell us. What do you guys think? You think Elon's sitting on some secrets?
They're out there, man.
Do.
I do.
I believe in aliens. I'm just saying.
Maybe he is one, so he's trying to.
There you go. That's
you know, they're hybrid species, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hybrid species. Why not? I mean, you know, when you talk about a lot of the things that people see that are, you know, that you can't explain. I mean, that's usually the first thing people go to. A lot of these things are man-made aircraft. However, again, there are those things that happen that, you know, what do you say? And why are all these places so secured? Why is a place like Area 51's and Groom Lake so secure? You know, because they got stuff there.
Well, I can understand why there would be places that are that secure. What I can't understand is the Navy pilots, the number of Navy pilots who've come out and basically said, yeah, these things are real and we have no idea what they are.
Yeah.
I don't know, guys. But it's been why is that banner? I got to get rid of that banner. Anyway, it's been an awesome time for UFO watching. Without ever actually seeing them. With the advent of the smartphone, all the UFO videos have just disappeared.
They're awesome.
Except for the ones taken by fighter jets. We get those.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, you're right. Those that are starting to leak out are incredibly interesting. And just, you know, you can't explain some of the speeds that those things move. And, you know,
I'm telling you, get on Reddit.
There's something, and
There's some good subreddits there.
If anybody wants to go down
I'm
a
so
crazy
excited.
rabbit hole, look up the KGB Alien Race book. It is on. I did a video on it a long time ago on my channel. You might find it there, but it's called the KGB Alien Race book, and it's supposedly, you know, the KGB's list of all the different types of aliens that are out there.
Wow.
Yeah. Real.
You
old
did a
said
video.
you did a video on it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, sweet.
Is it a long video? How long?
It's over an hour. We went through the whole thing. That was a long live stream.
How many different races roughly?
40 at least.
Wow.
Yeah. And you're just going through the whole thing. And it's a video that covers the book. So we just sort of go through all of it and they take you through every different classification and the grays and the whites and the, you know.
Incredible. I'll have to check out the video.
Eisenhower, you know. Yeah. And a lot of people, you'll find a lot of cool alien stuff on some of my old videos too.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 7 minutes left. Let's see if we can blast through these. Evelyn Lee Barney, has Scientology been charged with false imprisonment? You know, Michael Meisner was a guy. He's the guy who defected. He was one of the spies that infiltrated the government for Scientology back in Operation Snow White. And he defected to the FBI, spilled his guts. But one of the things, he had been falsely imprisoned. Now, Michael Meisner and all the guts that he spilled is what led to the FBI raiding Scientology's offices and getting the dirt they needed to prosecute and send a bunch of high-level Scientologists to prison, including L. Ron Hubbard's wife, Mary Sue Hubbard. I just don't know if any of the stuff Scientology was charged with was false imprisonment. just because I'm ignorant of the charges that Scientology was facing. But I do know that Michael Meisner was kidnapped and falsely imprisoned. And so because of that story, Evelyn, it is very possible that they were charged with that. I just can't say specifically.
Yeah, you can Wikipedia that too, Operation Snow White, and see what the official charges were.
Yeah, totally. All right. Stacy says merch is better than a bumper sticker. Honk if you love Xenu. Or merch idea. Bumper sticker, honk if you love Xenu. Okay. That is a good idea. Prince Muskie, Scientology ever looked for Xenu on Earth? This is one of the greatest mysteries on why they haven't looked for Xenu. He's supposed to be locked up in some sort of an electronic prison somewhere in the Himalayas. But I don't know what.
Yeah.
I feel like we should be looking for him.
Okay.
Scientologists don't think these are, what's the word? Parables? What's the word where a story in the Bible is just supposed to be? What's the word? But parable's not the word, is it? Where it's just a story?
Sure.
I thought it was in the vault with all the titanium writings next to all the titanium, whatever that is. What is
They
that?
want to keep Xenu as far away from the CST vaults as possible.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Xenu would screw those vaults up. Okay, Miriam on every day is a good day not to be in a cult t-shirts. I'm working on it. I've been dragging my heels. Clara's she's probably put together a bunch of designs and sent them to me, and I haven't even seen them. So they're coming soon. Matrix Tech Solutions, one of my favorite handles. Thank you, Matrix Tech Solutions. Colby McLean, love this live. Yeah, this has been a lot of fun. Guys, does it feel like we've been doing this for 2 freaking hours?
No, it's so fun.
The time just flies by.
Yeah, it does.
Me, myself, and I wants to know, what is your favorite flavor of ice cream? I don't know why I'm asking. I guess I'm craving ice cream.
How did I know someone was going to ask that question?
Those theta powers, those full OT powers. I'll tell you, mine is a toss-up between cookies and cream and mint chocolate chip. Oh, chocolate chip cookie dough. So it's a 3-way tie.
Yeah. Anything involving cookies.
Yeah. I love strawberry. Just straight strawberry. I love strawberry ice cream and milkshakes.
I'm a grandma. I love butter pecan.
Butter pecan sneaks up on you.
Classic.
It's so good.
Yeah.
They serve that with a doily in one of those little nice little.
Love it. Yeah.
I like it.
Colby McLean also wants to know, if the purpose is to help people, why not the homeless? It's a good question.
Right.
So I actually, when I was on LA staff, we were passing out, we were giving tickets to see whatever the movie is when you come in, right? What is that?
Is it the Dianetics? The introduction of Dianetics?
Yeah.
The story of Dianetics.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we were giving these out to come get some new publicans. So we were walking down Sunset, and there was a homeless guy there, and I was with my buddy, and I was going to give him a ticket. And then the person next to me, or who was walking with me, said, "No, we only help those who help themselves. So you really only help people who are able and who have money and can pay. So that's why you're not physically bringing in homeless people, because they cannot financially contribute to Scientology."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I asked that same question, because there's a lot of homeless people in Tampa, and I asked one of the staff members, when I first joined staff, because there was a homeless guy asking for cigarettes, and I gave him a couple of my cigarettes, and he told me not to do that. And then I was like, well, isn't the point to help people? And he told me verbatim, Scientology is to help make the able more able,
right? And
we don't help people who are degraded, basically.
Yeah.
You know how you mentioned earlier, it seems like anything in Scientology can be contradicted by something else in Scientology.
Always.
Why in the hell do they think it's worthwhile to go to disaster zones and hand out water and booklets, but it's not worthwhile to give food to homeless people? But you know what else looks good? Helping the homeless.
Well, because there's cameras already on those places. You go to Hurricane Katrina, every news outlet is covering that. So you want to be visible to the public, so they say, oh wow, Scientologists are out there, they're helping, they're giving water, they're giving these miraculous assists to these people. That's why.
That's a great point. That's a great point. But it's really so when they go and they hand out the bottles of water and everything, usually they're the ones sending out their press releases about all the great work that they're doing,
right?
And this is where I go, if Scientology, if they just were a little bit smarter, they could send out press releases about all the money they've given to all the soup kitchens and the homeless shelters. They could do that too.
Yeah, but that's not profitable.
Oh, well, it's not it's oh, you're right. Because they raise money for the volunteer minister stuff. If they asked Scientologists to donate money to feed the homeless, nobody would donate.
No,
because they consider the homeless to be downstats and DBs,
right. Degraded beings. Yeah.
Degraded beings.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That makes it all comes together.
Yep.
No ticking, no laundry.
Yeah. Bob Ottaviano. Charles Eames was the godfather of mid-century modernism. His influence is ubiquitous. Tony's taste is impeccable. I covet his eyewear. Yeah.
Love it.
There you go. That's got to be the comment of the day.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. This is the Eames elephant, mid-century modernism right here. Designed
really is
in the 20s or 30s, sometime around there.
Can it support the weight of a full-grown man?
Almost. You'd be surprised. The integrity is amazing.
Almost. Can it support John Travolta and another full-grown man?
For a massage. Yeah, for a massage.
Okay. Oh, I love it. All right. I'm probably pissing some people off, but that's okay.
All right.
Jen Mint, hey, all, love you guys. Random question. What's the difference between an org and a mission? We only have missions in Louisiana. Excellent question. Which one of you said you were on lines at a mission? It was
I was on staff at a mission and an org.
Oh, well, there you go. Go ahead. Tell them the difference.
Size. I don't know what the exact difference is, but what's the difference, Aaron, between like ideal orgs and stuff? Yeah.
There's two main differences. An org is owned and operated by the Church of Scientology International. A mission is privately owned by a public Scientologist.
Oh, okay.
They do send a percentage of the money, up lines to the mother church or whatever, but it is privately owned. Missions open and close all the time. An org is never supposed to close. There's another major difference. A mission cannot train professional auditors. So a mission can deliver auditing up to the level of clear. A mission can deliver all of the auditing an org can deliver. But a mission cannot deliver the Pro TRs course, the Pro Metering course, or any auditor training courses. They can do the student hat, PTSSP, and all the intro courses, but they cannot train professional auditors. And that's because they're privately owned. Like, the training of professional auditors is supposed to be more standardized and only supposed to be done in orgs.
So would a guy like Grant Cardone get auditing training, or is he just public? Like, someone who gets to that level and I don't know, has that much money to pay, can they get whatever?
They're supposed to eventually do auditor training, even if they're not going to be an auditor.
Yeah. That's when I first realized that he was a Scientologist. I heard him say, we brought the kids to auditing, and he was just talking about when I was like, what did he just say?
Oh, Grant.
Yeah, it was a while ago. I've a couple videos on him, but yeah, just curious if some of the, like maybe even a Tom Cruise or someone who's higher up, financially.
Tom is a class 4 auditor. He audited Mark. That's why he audited Mark Headley, because Tom Cruise was doing his auditor training at the INT base and he needed to audit someone. So he audited Mark Headley.
Wow. Okay. It was a long time.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Victoria?
Sorry.
I was just wondering, so is SMI is owned, like part of Scientology though.
Mm-hmm. So SMI is Scientology Missions International. That would be the group that manages all the missions, but they don't own the missions. SMI,
I see. They just manage because we reported to them weekly on Thursdays.
So they're the ones collecting all the information. They're the ones that a mission would send its royalties to SMI.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. Exactly.
Okay.
Cool. Let's see. Rachel Webb says, me and someone else in the chat only get Scientology stuff when you put in children of Scientology with an A. What? Oh. When they put in children of Scientology, they only get Scientology stuff. Yes. Here's what you want to do.
Oh, I see.
Use the @ symbol. So here, let me pull up the banners again. Oh shit. We went over our two.
Yeah. I was going to say also, don't forget that the Lighthouse Project, you can just search for in podcast streaming platforms. if anyone's
The
interested.
Lighthouse
The
Project.
Lighthouse Project. Yes, that's
Okay.
that's produced by Children of Scientology, but that's the title of the podcast that we're doing.
Right. So Rachel, on YouTube, instead of just typing in Children of Scientology as a phrase, if you type also @ and then Children of Scientology, you really should get the channel.
Yeah.
And since we're sort of about to wrap up here, I want to remind everyone, you can subscribe to Trinity on YouTube at Shut Up Trinity. You can subscribe to Victoria at Children of Scientology. And you can subscribe to Tony at Zero Dark Tony. And let me see here. We really should wrap up here because I know Victoria, I told you 2 hours. Miss Kim, LDS Church does go to disasters with 18-wheelers full of aid. Scientology stole their yellow shirts, so they might be mistaken for actually helping. Y'all have interesting stories. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Kim. Yeah. Okay, guys, so let's do our final giveaway. Trinity, you're going to be the selector this time.
Okay.
And
do I just hit
guys,
the show button whenever I pick one?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so guys, for those of you who stuck with us the full 2 hours, we're doing one last giveaway here. You can get a Mike Rinder bobblehead, you can get an item from the merch store, or you can get one of Mark Headley's paperback books, not signed though. And she's going to randomly select someone from the live chat. You guys, there's 2,000 of you here. Blow up that live chat. Okay. And over to you, Trinity. Do whatever countdown you want to do, and then just click one.
Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1. I hit one.
Nice. Up? Okay, so how do you say this? Cynical girl.
Cynical girl.
Cynical.
Hey girl.
Cynical girl. Cool. Awesome. Cynical girl. Email me at growingupinscientology@gmail.com and I will ship it off. I'll ship them off tomorrow, you guys. I won't wait 3 weeks. I promise. I super promise. Guys, this has been so much fun. I don't think 2 hours has ever gone by faster. This is incredible.
Thanks so much for having me on. I really appreciate it. And it's great meeting Trinity and Victoria and being on here.
Yes, you too.
Love it. You too.
Awesome, guys. All right. Thank you, everyone, for sticking in there with us. Thanks to everyone who watches until the very end. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
If you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click right inside here. If you have subscribed or not, subscribe right here. Bye.